If you're an author or even a fan of works and reading at this point, you know that Amazon has really screwed the market for a lot of people. We've seen a lot of independent books which were selling it like hotcakes just get absolutely dumped on by Amazon's newer algorithms. Amazon is picking winners and losers, and they're hurting a lot of authors in the process. They're also like running their own distribution, kind of running their own little imprints, and of course are promoting things internally to gain more royalties over people who are more independent. It used to be the Wild Wild West. You used to be able to just go on Amazon and people would just discover your book. Amazon would try to actually make it so that like if you had a book that was like Brandon Sanderson's, that somebody who liked Brandon Sanderson might find it because they wanted to help people read books. But as they've increasingly gotten their fingers into more monopolistic stuff, they've made things worse and worse for authors. Kindle Unlimited was a big thing in this. Kindle Unlimited sounded like a good deal. Of course, readers could just read anything on Kindle at the time, and you just pay a monthly subscription. Authors get paid out via the pages read. And people started to game it for a while. Of course, that became a weird thing where people were padding the backs of their books with just kind of nonsense content to get more page turns. And Amazon put a stop to that basically by, of course, again, just promoting more of their own internal stuff rather than the external. Audible's been another one of these. These are for audiobooks where you have to pay credits to get the audio stuff. And of course, Amazon owns all the rights to this. They could take away these books at any time. That's the other ridiculous part. They also give authors an exclusive. Like if you are exclusive with Audible or whatnot, you get a higher royalty rate than if you're not exclusive. Same with Kindle Unlimited. And they've incentivized authors and made it important to just go there because Amazon is the biggest marketplace to get those percentages because you need those sales to survive. It's really a rigged system. But now, of course, Brandon Sanderson is out and he is going to be fighting this system. This is really interesting stuff coming out of the book business, and we're going to cover it right here. I'm John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. If you like, of course, our pop culture commentary, we are fighting against big corporations like Amazon, like Disney, on behalf of the little guy every single time. And we are doing so in journalism. We're doing so with our, of course, alternative content as well. I've got a Subscribe Star. I'm posting my fiction, my comics on there. If you guys want to check things out and support us in our efforts, we really appreciate you. This is what needs to be done these days because companies like Amazon make it impossible to compete at this point. And you guys are what will keep us going in this sort of fight for good fiction again. Thank you guys so much. So here's what Brandon Sanderson is doing. This is reported by Brian Niemeyer on his blog. Sanderson is not on Audible. Fantasy author Brandon Sanderson has established himself as the king of neo-patronage with his record-smashing Kickstarter campaign. He made millions off of it. And while his secret novel project earned him 4 times more than his publishers pay him, the old pub gravy chain turned new pub mogul has a beef with an industry player. It's Amazon audiobook subsidiary Audible. So this is what Brandon Sanderson says. The books, that's his, will not be on Audible for the foreseeable future. This is a dangerous move on my part. I don't want to make an enemy of Amazon who owns Audible. I like the people at Audible, had several meetings with them this year. But Audible has grown to a place where it's very bad for authors. So is Amazon. Same thing. It's a good company doing bad things. I wouldn't go that far. I'd say it's a pretty evil company. But hey, again, this is a dangerous thing to say. And yes, he can get in trouble for this by the powers that be. And I don't want to make anyone feel guilty. I have an Audible account, a subscription. It's how my dyslexic son reads most of the books he reads. Audible did some great things for books, notably spearheading the audio revolution, which brought audiobooks down to a reasonable price. I like that part a lot. However, they treat authors very poorly. This is true. Particularly indie authors. The deal Audible demands of them is unconscionable, and I'm hoping that providing market forces will encourage a change in a positive direction. If you want details, the current industry standard for a digital product is pay the creator 70% on a sale. That's what Steam pays for your game sale. That's what Amazon pays on ebooks. It's what Apple pays for apps downloaded. Audible pays 40%, almost half. For a frame of reference, brick and mortar stores take around 50% of a retail product. Audible pays indie authors less than a bookstore does when a bookstore has storefronts, sales staff, warehousing to deal with, and these are just digital products. I knew things were bad, which is why I wanted to explore other options with Kickstarter, but I didn't know how bad. If indeed indie authors don't agree to be exclusive with Audible, they get dropped from 40%. This is if you're not exclusive. You had to be exclusive for that 40% to a measly 25%. Buying an audiobook through Audible instead of from another site literally costs the author money. Again, I do like the people at Audible. I like a lot about Audible. I don't want to go to war, but I have to call them out. This is shameful behavior. I bet every person there will say they are a book lover, and yet they are squeezing indie authors to death. I had several meetings with them, and I feel like I could see their embarrassment in their responses and their actions. So this is it. So he's going to take his books off Audible and, of course, sell them separately, which is a big step. Somebody like Sanderson is really keeping these companies afloat. He is like one of the big trad pub people who actually sell. There's not many of them out there. But indie authors like myself, and I do have my books on Audible, are just getting absolutely screwed in this process. It's a big problem. So, maybe we'll do some stuff on Subscribestar, put it out on audio, do some different productions just to make it so that we can get stuff out to you guys in a reasonable manner that actually pays us instead. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. And of course, join our Subscribestar. I really appreciate you guys for patronizing us and supporting our art. See you.